everyone, this is Denise, and today I thought we would do another color palette challenge, and I'm working still in my big media journal because it's my goal to finish it. And we are like halfway, we're getting halfway there because I can see now I'm into the next register of pages here, because it's got like four sets of pages, and I've already got through almost all the first two sets, and there's two more sets left, so we'll say halfway, but there's a few pages up front I have to go back to. And I want to do a color palette challenge, and I really get the most excited about the weirdo palettes, and that's kind of a weirdo palette. You just got to say it is. And so I thought, ooh, let's do this one. And so I pulled color palette 214 out of Color Cube Volume 1 by Sarah Renee Clark, and we are gonna just see where we can go with this today. So I pulled out Light Olive Green by Liquitex Basics. That's pretty darn close. I pulled out So Flat Dark Green. I also pulled out Blick Matte Green Light. This is a little bit different than the gray. It's Warm Gray by the Blick Matte Company, but it's the gray that I had. And then I also pulled out Red Deep. I mean, could I have gotten any closer there? I think I got pretty darn close. Let me set that right there. I'm also going to put some gesso down here because I like to mix gesso in with my paints. It makes the surface really good for mixing other things on top of it when I want to draw mark make on top. So we're just going to put some of those down there. That was just the clear and the white Liquitex gessos that I just put out, and then we're just going to see where we can go. I'm going to get out I feel like we're on a burlap page and a watercolor page, so I definitely want to watercolor over here, and I've just got some deli paper, wax paper stuff on the other, just down there, to kind of keep it from painting the page below it. And then I've got a burlap page, which, you know, those are extra challenging. Oh no, don't put the burlap into that. I'm gonna get this everywhere. Look at that. We're just gonna pull these out. And I'm not even worried about fraying the edge because I like to cut these pages down anyway. Whoa, I like to make a mess before I even get started, don't I? But yes, I like cutting these pages down, so I'm not worried about the edges there. Okay, and going with the joggles. I like to stencil on one side and then glue something on the other side. That tends to be the way I like to handle the pages in this particular book. So this one is a Joggles Van Gogh Starry Night Starry Spirals mask. So it's the Van Gogh Starry Night inspiration. Oh, look at that. That's super fun. Now we just have to decide, I want to do a big abstract over here, and do we want to do this? We figured out on one of the earlier layouts that darker colors work better. So do we want to do this in the dark green, the red, or this olive green? Like, is the olive green is pretty vivid. Feeling like, I don't know, what do you think about the dark green or the red? Let's do the red. I'm not really a red person, but let's do the red. Let's just do it. Okay, so for stenciling purposes, you know what? Let's do this page second. Let's do this page first, and then we might come back and change our mind on the colors. Let's just do this one first and decide what do we want to paint. All right, so I'm liking the green. Let me just put some of these colors out here. What I don't want is this to look like Christmas. So how are we going to do that? I feel like if we do a lot of green and a hint of the red, what do you think about that? And I really like this green that's very, very much like a green gold. Whoa, maybe I like it less now that I've got it mixed in the white, but oh, let's just go for it. I got my little bowl spreader over here, my silicone bowl spreader, because I do like to kind of squish out the brush marks. just my own personal preference. No reason why, other than I just prefer it. Okay, for some reason I always want to love green gold, and then I use it and I don't love it. It's like overwhelming. But then as we work it into our piece, I get back to where I'm like, oh, okay, not so bad. So you got to get past what you kind of think of as the ugly parts of the painting. Don't get stuck in the ugly part and give up. And this page is awkward because it's dipping up. It's flat. I was thinking I had something up under there, but it's flat. But it is kind of dipping up now that we're getting further along in this book. Ooh, now see, now I've got a little bit of that green gold kind of mixed in with this other green. Now I like it mixed in like that. So that was kind of interesting, getting that mix in there. This is why I put that wax paper on the other side, because I know I'm going to be squishing paint toward the edge, and I don't want to paint the underneath page that's already got stuff on it. And we might come in here with some marks as we're going. If I know I like that green in this darker green, we could go ahead and get some marks working in there. Okay, and then we've got this lighter color. I feel like I need to grab this other paintbrush. Huh. What do you think? This is kind of a crazy color palette. In a good way, but definitely it's not something I would have ever in a million years have picked. But this is how we get to new discoveries. This is why I like picking the craziest one I can find that day and being like, oh, this one's a challenge. Let's do this one. I'm going for the challenges. The challenges really make you step outside of your comfort zone. Okay, now we haven't used the gray. I'm kind of feeling like, let's put that gray down. Maybe it can act like a white wash. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna put some of this on my silicone scraper and just see. Oh yeah, see, look at that. We can just get kind of, whoa! Okay, I like it. I think I need a brush. It was easier to get this on my silicone thing with a brush. I just want one that can let me pick this up. There we go. Let's just get that on there. Okay, that's kind of fun. Might have just worked better if I had stuck the silicone scraper into the paint, but that's okay. We're just gonna... Okay, that's super cool! Okay, the only thing we haven't worked in there is the red. So let me get that where I can set it down. I'm gonna throw that brush over there into the water. I've just thrown it in the water. I kind of feel like we need either some, I don't know, it's looking so good. Let's do some mark making. I like my pencil. let's just go ahead and do it. That'll drag through some of the paint because you know the paint's not dry. Oh my gosh. I never would have picked any of these colors, but look how good that looks. It's like surprisingly cool. In a let's pick all the weird greens that we can pick kind of way. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Okay, so do we just do the red over here and be way outside of whatever that was supposed to be? Do we forego the red and just be happy with the other 4 colors that we got? Because I'm kind of leaning that way. I mean, I could put a little touch of red in there, but now that we've got this on here, I'm so happy with where we went that I almost think leave the red out. And that's the fun thing about the color challenges. You can pivot where you need to pivot. So I feel like this page is calling for the dark green. What do you think? Let's get a sponge out here, one that's not wet. That one's wet. Let's get this other sponge. Here we go. Okay, and I can just kind of dip these right in the paint. I can just maybe even pour a little paint in that thing. There we go. All right, we're gonna go for it. What do we think? Do we like it facing this way, or do we like it facing? No, I like it the other way. I agree. Okay, I'm gonna stencil this in and just see what we get. And I might go outside of it to finish it off. Yeah, let's do that. All right, might not be perfect, but I think I'm there. Throw that sponge in the water. This was definitely a little bit harder to use as a stencil. It's probably better used on your jelly plate as a mask, but I just don't get my jelly plate out nearly often enough. But oh, look at that. Whoa, that's way different than what we put beside it, and at the same time, super duper cool. And that definitely is going to bleed through to the bottom side, which is why we do wax paper under there to hopefully protect most of the page. So now I need to let that dry, but what a great layout today. And I'm glad that I said, okay, let's go ahead and forego the red and do this weirdo green combination, because that is super cool. Hope you enjoyed painting with me today and seeing where we went with this layout. Can't wait to see what you're creating. You're welcome to join my Facebook art group that I link down below. And if you love watching some of my videos, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.